why does judging people have to be so fun? It's actually really, really bad. It's bad for you. It's bad for the people being judged. And even if you were a perfect judge of whatever the hell you're judging people about, you probably wouldn't be able to leverage that into making as good of decisions as you really think. I want to pull this to a math problem for a bit now so I can actually actually explain what I mean by that. This is called the secretary problem. So let's bring up Microsoft Paint here. What is the secretary problem? It's this idea that if you are trying to select the optimal person for a role, let's say you have N applicants, okay? So this could be applicants to your guild. This could be people you're trying to date on Tinder. This could be many other things. We'll get back to that later. You have N applicants. How do you find the best one? What are the criteria for making a decision? You need to have a yes or no after first contact. Okay, so this is like an interview. You get me? It's not like you get interviewed and then they're like, oh, we'll give you another interview because we're on the fence. Like, places do that. That's fucking stupid. They shouldn't, because you're like really breaking the validity of your testing criteria if you do that, if you think that you have tests that work at all. But so that's the thing. You got to say yes, no after you interview these applicants. And how would you find the best applicant? Now, this is kind of weird. It's kind of weird. But what you should do is that you interview the first N divided by natural number applicants. And if you don't know what natural number is, natural numbers equal to about 3. So basically, you interview the first 1/3 of N. And then what do? You remember who is the M applicant, M being the best. Who's the best? So after going through the first third of the N applicants, you have applicant M. They're the one that impressed you the most. You've already told them no because you've gone through all this first third and you had to tell them no because you couldn't tell them yes. So then you look through the last 2/3, and you check out each applicant A. So each applicant A, you're checking them out, and as soon as you have an A that is greater than M, you hire A. This is the best way to make a yes-no decision on anything where you have to, at the end of like that contact, decide. So if this is hiring people, this is dating, this could be transformed into other things like perhaps it's early in college and you feel like it's very important to embed yourself in certain social scenes and you have to pick which ones. Same stuff, anything like that. So this is really applicable to human relationships because quite often we signal to each other how important we are to each other really quickly, and it's not very reversible at all. So what would be the odds of you getting the best choice if the deck was stacked in your favor? You can just tell. You can really read people. You know how good they are. You just need to get at them for a little bit. You're so fucking charming. You can suss things out. And so then you go and you run that algorithm we just talked about, you're perfect at deciding what people are like, and you run the best algorithm. What are your odds? Well, this is where it gets really shitty. The odds of making the correct choice are about 37%. Or put another way, you have a 37% chance that that basically M is not best, and that the first applicant A that is greater than M is best. So that's if you're perfect. If you're perfect, if you're as good at reading people, if you can tell how someone today if you could talk to me today and then we became friends, and you could somehow tell how I'm going to make you feel in our friendship a year from now, if you had that magical ability, you'd only have like a 37% chance if there's some kind of finite resource that makes you have to decide what you're going to do with people after you run into them the first time. Fucking bananas. Super bananas. It really makes it changes the ball game on how you should interact with people. And just so everybody remembers, so you're not thinking I'm just making shit up, this is called the secretary problem. Secretary. I don't know how to spell secretary. But I'll put that on the board because I got to draw on this iPad. I mean, it costs like fucking $600, so I got to get my money's worth. But so what does this mean then? Well, the big issue with actually having to make the determinations and why this is hard is because with the secretary problem, there is that forced yes, no. There is that critical time where a decision needs to be made. And this, I think, is something that people don't keep in mind when they're interacting with others, especially like when it's potentially like a kind of transactional relationship. Like somebody joining your raid team is quite often kind of transactional because most guilds aren't actually all that tight. And most raiders, when they stop raiding, they're just going to stop messaging everybody. So like it's really quite transactional generally. And I think it's easy for people to then get themselves into these situations that make you have to solve things using the secretary problem. But what kind of shit would make it so the secretary problem doesn't apply? Okay, this is it. Reversible decisions. Reversible. So that would be like if you could date someone, you could date person 1 and then date person 2 and then date person 3 and then date person 4 and then be like, you know what, 1 was the best out of all of them. I'm gonna go tell 1, you know what, you're the best. I'm sorry. I tried out 3 other people, but maybe we should give this another go. And I think that maybe that's the thing that happens when people date. I don't know. I've been with the same person my whole life, but then you're good. And this kind of shit can apply to WoW too, because you can meet people in the game and get a bad opinion about them real quick after having like a 10-minute conversation with them, and maybe they're not well rested or they're stoned or they're hungover or whatever. There's something weird, but you're going to then make the foolish decision of making this not reversible. So like whenever I meet like anybody in the game, I always try to talk to them. Like every time, if anybody's gonna go out of their way to hit me up, I always respond to them. If I'm fucking busy, like I let them know. I try to be very specific about if I'm not like free to engage with somebody, like what I'm up to and like when I can get back to them. And this makes interactions a lot less irreversible. You could imagine there are people who like this is one that could apply directly to me. There are people that hit me up that are wondering what my guild's like, and they're worried what I will probably actually be like. And it probably feels weird hitting up this dude on YouTube that you don't actually like really know, but maybe you've been watching his stuff, and they message me. And if this just isn't the right moment for me, I could just not really hit them back or give them like short responses. And then that's going to fuck the chance of us ever doing things together up like really bad. Most likely I'm going to give them a very bad opinion about me. And then like I shut the door there. Whereas even if I'm not free in the moment, or even if I don't think I have a raid spot for them on whatever day, like maybe someone's like, I want to be a druid. And I'm like, I got 2 druids, dude. I can't have a 3rd druid. Like, what are you trying to do here? But I could still get to know them. And then maybe in the future, it could make sense. And so, maybe you have a bunch of people all playing all these stupid fucking classes that hit you up. And then you make another raid team. And now it's not that you have a bunch of stupid classes hit you up. It's now the best druid to have on your team. You have the best rogue. You have the best mage. You have all this extra information to work with. And this is also true with people dealing with their friends. Like sometimes, you'll have most people have had like lots of different friend groups over the course of their life. And if you find one that like right now you like more, it's probably not a good idea to just go totally throw away your old friend groups. You really don't know how you're going to feel about them in the future. It's a very irreversible decision if you just, for example, start like ghosting all your friends all the fucking time because you like found some other people that are cool to hang out with. But I think a lot of people will do this, and then you can end up in a weird spot where like this is a thing that a lot of people have experienced before. They're like, oh, I'm not hanging out with the right people anymore. I used to hang out with the right people. And or this is like how it is like quitting guilds. Like if you're like, oh, I'm gonna quit my guild, I'm gonna find a better guild. Like okay, like if it was just up to you to join a guild or not, and you were going to try, and you're like a mega guild hopper, and you're going to try them all out one at a time, fucking you're right back at the secretary problem, jackass. 37% chance it works out, It's like, ugh, it's very hard to be the judge of things unless you make it so that way you can go back into the past, and then it becomes really easy. Then it becomes like trying to I'm gonna find out which flower in this field is like the tallest. Well, I guess that'd be hard if it was a really big field, but if it was like your fucking backyard, it wouldn't be all that bad if they're like sunflowers. I hope that that makes some sense. If the math on this sounds like fucking unbelievable, just check out optimal stopping problem or secretary problem. It's mostly got to do with hiring individuals at a time, but it's going to work for anything where there is a sequence of things you're trying to evaluate, and you have to pick the best one, and you're not allowed to go back. And the whole way we break it is by making sure that we can have the long-term relationships with people, even if it doesn't make sense right now, so that way you can go back. And so that way, when you do go through the first third of applicants, and then you realize that, oh, that one of those people is actually the right one, and it just didn't make sense in the moment. Well, in the future, when it does make sense, there, you got them. So catch you later, guys. Good luck with recruiting for your guilds. Or if you're looking for a guild, you should fucking hit me up, even if your class is stupid. Okay? Hit me up. Peace.